What is up, everyone? The 25th Genius is back with another Tower of God video. Not the anime, but the webtoon. We're covering episode 466, which is season 3, chapter 49. So we're almost halfway there for season 3 of its 1 year anniversary. So I'm really excited for that. Again, it's been an amazing year for Tower of God by thus far, and it's only keep getting better as the more I read it. So shout outs to the creator for an amazing webtoon. This is definitely the top webtoon that you've got to read. Again, I just can't stress it enough. It's just so much good things that go on in this webtoon that I have to make weekly videos to talk about them all. But so let's get into the video. So I'm pretty behind on my videos of Tower of God, which at the same time I apologize. I'm just an extremely busy human being. And but a lot of stuff has been happening. Now, to be truthfully fair, if I really tally all the events of Tower of God, nothing super major has really happened. We're in the arc of the Wall of Coexistence, and that arc is starting to really pan away. I'll talk about the current chapter first because it's more vivid in my head, and there were a lot of interesting, neat things that I want to dress up. And then I'll talk about the past chapters just because, again, it just makes more sense to me. I know it's not logical, but it just makes sense to me. So let's talk about this. The ancient war heroes are now out of the wall. They have been resurrected, and they are hopefully expected to play a vital part in the war that is about to ensue. Jihad wants full-blown war in order to draw out Bam, which is from what we got out of this chapter. It is all a plot to draw Bam so he can be killed, so that there is no threat. However, as we know, since Bam is the main character, and I do feel like Bam is extremely powerful, this is not going to end very well for the enemy side. Now, how is going to be amazing, because you know that Bam's just going to have an amazing new power. He's going to get really strong. He's already strong enough to fight high rankers. So I'm just really, it tingles my system to find out how strong Bam is actually going to become in this arc. And will these arcs be the point in which he becomes one of the high irregulars of old, like Orakmazino, Inru? Will he become one of Pandemonium? Will he become one of those high regulars from the effects of these wars that are breaking out? I seriously can't wait. But one good thing, and I feel like it's a later video to talk about, is how is Bam's mentality going to change in the midst of it? Seen from the looks of it, there's really no hint of Bam's personality being changed or his morals being in jeopardy. But it's still an interesting thing to point out because, again, things like this really push a character to its limits. And when Bam usually is pushed to his limits, he usually sticks to his morals, which is why he's one of my favorite characters. But we'll see. It'll be really good to see all of these dynamics that are into play. And again, it's just a great, interesting read, and I can't wait to see more and more of Tower of God in the future, and how they're just going to work all of these amazing things out. Now, with that all being said, the canine people died. The cat dude just took them all out. Pretty petty. Like, honestly, very petty. But it's also sad because King Yama, which is the Fug Slayer, and he's a very high ranker, he really fought hard to maintain his people. Just to see them gone out of being petty, I know it must hurt his soul. He definitely has revenge on Cat Dude on his heart, and he definitely will do his best to murder the Cat Dude. I know this is going to be true. And Lord Yama is extremely powerful, as he is the only canine person to achieve a full level 1 transformation. So it's going to be really interesting how he's going to retaliate on this. But majority of the canine people just got murdered out of pit of rage and out of pit of being petty. The canine people were set to be conquered, and that just basically got out of Lord Yama's control. What started off as a simple recruit Lord Yama turned into a whole big mess, which converted into the murder of the entire race of canine people. Again, Lord Yama must be extremely sad, angry, because as leader of the canine people, he was powerless to do anything as his whole race died before his very eyes. Very powerful stuff that SIU did. Very, very extremely powerful stuff here. It's really just it touches your heart, but it also like fuels you because you know that your Yama's gonna have an excellent retaliation, or things are really just about to go down that really shouldn't be. But I really like how the author is creating crafted the murder, because it's basically an effect of war. And one of the reasons why I'm not a big fan of war is because casualties like this happen in which you lose your morality, you lose your mentality, you just lose a lot of things just because, just because. And this is a clear example of what happens when war just gets out of hand, and what really will you do with the effects of war. Like that's really, I feel like the main point of that whole thing was that war does happen, and this is what happens. And this is going to be a continuous trend where more people are just going to be taken by the effects of this Cold War that Jihad has started. So again, it's very sad that the canine people vanished and went away. However, I only feel like it's just going to push Lord Yama more and more. It's going to push Bam more and more too. So again, I'm just really excited about what these characters are going to do. These are Fuck Slayers. These are very overpowered people. I'm very, very excited. My blood is boiling for them. So now we need to talk about the war heroes, and that'll wrap up this video in the sense of I wonder what role they're going to play. We know that Doan is going to work with Fuck in hopes to save Bam's life, because Caliban is just too strong that no one can really handle Caliban at this point. But what about the other guy? What is he going to do? What is his role for it? Like, he said that he will follow the leader of Fuck, and Doan wants to follow the leader of Jihad. And what's interesting about them is that both of them are basically in love with each other. So it's really very interesting and cool to just see how love interests are on different opposite sides, which I think I've said this before recently in another video of mine. So I'm really curious about, honestly, how this is all going to play out, what different emotions are going to transpire because these things happen. Like, I'm just very excited. I just really just don't know. But it is very interesting to watch, especially in the arcs in which we saw the war heroes get resurrected, and the toll that it took on their little world. I mean, again, it's just been amazing at the most, about why these war heroes really here, what purpose really will they serve. And honestly, I want to know how strong they are. I want to know how strong they are. Like, I want them to get into serious fights, because like Doan seemed really wicked strong, even that over her sister. And I just forgot that Lord Cha is just very overpowered too. So I really can't wait to see them in an actual fight, to see how they're really going to scrap with other people. So far, these past 3 chapters of Tower of God have just been absolutely fire. You're learning more and more things, but you're not learning things about the world in general. You're just really learning more about that particular arc, which again, I just really find interesting, because again, it's the sign of war. It is the sign of things that are going to happen, that are to come. I've just been really happy that we're out of the train arc, because as a reader, you were in that train for like 2 years praying for them to get out. And I really do like how the season 2 ended with them getting out of the train. So that's really good. And I'm just wanting to see more of this tower. I want to see more characters. I want to see more people. I want to see how fleshed out and how much more can SIU really do with this webtoon, because I know he's not far from done yet. We're only on floor 50, and there are basically 134 floors of the tower. So I can't wait. Again, it's just all interesting. And then finally, we find out about Jisan Ha. So he's in a place called the Nest, and Mescaline Jihad is there. Now she's using him for a bargaining tool, basically to deal with the whole Yuri Jihad mess, because my girl got captured, because plot happened, and so they're trying to figure out something to do. But my dude Jisan, he's alive, he is well, he's just captured. So what are they going to do when they free him? How is this going to happen? I just really don't know. But I hope he gets free soon, and I hope he kicks the ever-living pants out of everyone who tortured him, because that's my guy. Other than that, again, fire chapters, definitely worth checking out, definitely worth reading. Again, you won't be disappointed. Again, chapters of fire. And with that being said, that is the end of my video. If you watched the end and you would like to subscribe, that would be much appreciated. Also, I have a Discord, so why don't you go and check out the Discord for all your webtoon and anime and manga needs. But honestly, you don't have to do any of that if you can just like and subscribe to the creator, because it really helps them a lot more than it would ever help me. With that being said, I thank you for watching and listening, and I will see you in the next video of whatever I make.